Welcome to another first from the British Motor Yacht Show, and this time it is Sealine's new C335. This is the very first boat in the country, so let me talk you through it and see what's different. Now, the hull itself is very similar. It's got that very vertical bow and a nice coupe style, but let me show you where the changes are. So, from the back there's this small bathing platform area, nice easy step on board, and then the big cockpit zone. Not much change going on here, but it is a really good sized run of seating all the way around the cockpit, with these clever bifold doors that all stack up on the port side, and then the window on the starboard side that opens up to really give a good flow between the outdoor cockpit and the indoor saloon area. But of course it does mean that that also all closes up. When you want to have a proper enclosed saloon, you can do that and you get a genuinely warm, cozy, dry interior. And the other clever feature is this canopy section at the back, which at the moment we've all got stacked up, but again that extends right the way over, so you can enclose the whole of this aft section with canopies and have a really nice protected stern cockpit. Now, while we're outside, I'm just going to walk you up the side decks, and again you can see really good decent height bulwarks here, tall grab rails, so it's very easy to walk up here up to the bow area. And a few small changes up here really around this seat. So instead of having a convertible slightly complicated arrangement, there is just this slot-in cushion that makes a comfortable little bow seat, which is a rather lovely space to sit. Certainly at anchor, or probably underway if you're not going too quickly, you could sit up here, but just a nice two-person bench. And of course the anchor itself, nice stainless steel chain, a little bit damp in there, but you've got a good anchor locker, proper electric windlass, and dual access there, so there is plenty of space to store fenders and things. And then the anchor hanging over the pulpit area, these rather smart square section cleats. And again, now on the port side you don't get those lovely tall bulwarks, and it is a little bit more cramped, the walkway along here, so really it's better to walk up the starboard side if you can, but there is still space to creep along here if you want to. And then the other problem here, of course, is when you've got the doors open, it's a bit of a step across into the cockpit. But, so moving into the saloon area, there's a couple of cupboards on the port side, access to all the electronic switch gear and the breakers neatly tucked away in there. And there's a little plug socket, lots of nice reading lights everywhere. And then the dinette zone on the port side, table shaped to fit, little fold out section. But one of the big wins is this seating area here, which I will show you in a minute, how this whole thing folds up and over to create a forward facing seat. So that's a big win. That was always one of the criticisms of the C330, is that there weren't two forward facing seats. You've just got this Helm seat here. Now with the C335 you have got another two-person forward facing bench. So the clever thing about this is how it all transforms into a forward facing seat. So with my clever assistant here to help, if we just swing that up, you can see how it all cantilevers over, and hey presto, there is suddenly a very usable forward facing seat for two, which I'm just going to sit myself in. And there you can see it's really quite a comfortable seat with a very nice view forward. And there's even a sunroof overhead, so you can stand up and look through there. That's a very neat, very lovely solution. And on the starboard side there is this new galley area. which has just been improved and made a little bit more versatile, a little bit slicker. For starters, there's two separate opening sections on the top. So there's one which gives access to the burners, and under here, if I just pop this out of the way temporarily, there is another section there giving access to the sink. So it just means you don't have to have the whole thing open at once. You can open them one at a time, making it a little bit more versatile. And there you can see how that window then opens up and closes down, and this becomes a nice bar area when it's fully open. And that in fact folds out further to create a nice little cocktail area. You can imagine yourself sitting there, propping up the bar, having a nice drink. And then under here, there's a bit more detail going on here. We've got these nice soft closed drawers, and you can see there's a little bit of a recess to get your fingers in, and there's a positive latch in all of those. Just a little bit more sophisticated. There's a fridge under here, oven, little latch, more drawers, plenty of storage all around. Just adds a little bit of versatility and sophistication to the galley area. Then there's the helm seat. And this is one of the best parts about the Sealine C335 is this helm position. Really nice, comfortable seat with a bolster. Crucially, that opening door area means you can just slip out to deal with fenders and lines, get to the foredeck. But it also gives a lovely throughput of air and feels like you're out in the open. And then this big opening roof overhead, so that when you're sat at the helm, you can comfortably sit down, enjoy the fully enclosed wheelhouse if the weather isn't too wonderful. But equally, it means you can actually stand and look out straight through the sunroof when you want to. So you really do have the best of both worlds. It's the feeling of an open boat when it's sunny and lovely, but also the comfort and warmth of an enclosed helm position when you want to. And particularly with that opening door there, it really makes it feel like you're much more open to the elements. Now this boat is powered by a pair of twin Volvo D3 diesel engines, 220 horsepower each, gives maximum speed of around about 30 knots and a cruising speed of about 25. Nice efficient stern drives, gives a really good usable range without using too much fuel. Now moving down into the accommodation section, and again there's some changes going on here. So this is the bathroom. There's one bathroom shared between the two cabins, and crucially what they've done here is create a separate shower and heads area. So there is a little perspex door to make this into a separate part of the heads compartment rather than a single wet room. It just means that when you are having a shower, it keeps all the water, the damp in one area, and then you've still got a nice dry section with the sink itself. A good little window with an opening port there, bit of storage underneath, makes it a more usable, better cruising bathroom than just a single wet room. And then the main owner's cabin forward, big double bed for a relatively small boat. That is a really good sized bed. And again, they've just added a bit more detail around here. So there's some nice recessed shelves here, little stainless steel bars across it. Just adds a bit more sophistication, bit more class, bit more finish. And lots of lovely natural air, natural light. I mean, again, it's really distinctive on this boat. And it's noticeable just how beamy the boat is here. So even though this is a bow cabin, it feels really nice and spacious and beamy, lots of natural light. And particularly if you take those sunbed cushions up there are 3 more skylights and an opening hatch there, makes it even more bright. So really lovely cabin for a relatively small boat. Hanging locker, more shelves there. Under the bed itself, there are 4 more little drawers in there, again with those positive latches for your fingers to get into. makes the most of that space, much more usable than having a big lift up area that's a bit of a sweat. You have to lift up the whole mattress. 4 small drawers means you can get to all your clothes and organise them all better. And then the second cabin is on the port side, full standing headroom, and again with this skylight up overhead means there's lots of light here, lots of headroom. Door closes and then there's access to a hanging locker there, more shelves, and a mirrored surface helping bounce light around, and a handy little seat on this side so that you can sit down without having to crawl into the bed. The bed itself is tucked under the cockpit, so there's limited headroom here. You can see above the pillows there's a bit more clearance, so you can sit up in bed and read, and that nice hull window there, but it does reduce a bit underneath. So you can either have it set up this way round with the pillows under the window, or you can have the pillows on this side of the bed and tuck your feet under. It's actually quite a good sized bed. It's just that limited headroom overhead, but then we are talking about a 35-foot boat. So actually, for a relatively compact boat, that's 2 good sized cabins, 2 good sized beds. So there we go. That is the new Sealine C335. Really cleverly thought out boat. Some nice improvements to the design of it, particularly around the galley, and that forward facing seat really transforms it. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick tour of the new Sealine C335. If you have, please do subscribe to the channel, give us a like and hit the notifications button so that you'll know when we launch the next video of the next exciting new boat. Thanks for watching.